This week in retrospect, we take it back to 1994, where a farmer has a new way of herding animals to evolve with the ever-changing world.
A lot of times when we go to move animals, the very thing we're doing to put them there is the very thing that's keeping them from going there.
Bud Williams says the cattle industry has changed, and cattle producers must change their thinking and move with it.
Well, I think it's more important to treat it differently, but also what you got to realize is the old way of working animals was designed for the Old West. And when animals weren't worth much and people were tough, and we've carried that on, and now we've just got to develop a new way, and things have changed.
Williams says the most important things to consider when moving stock are economics and animal welfare. He says sometimes what we think we should do is exactly what we shouldn't.
Our basic instincts are wrong for driving animals. Our instincts are to be a chase animal, and animals don't like to be chased. We don't like to be chased. And so you have to go against your basic instincts in order to handle animals what I consider properly.
And he says learning to do what doesn't come naturally is something that takes time.
I just didn't like the way it was done, and I have a strange mind, and I decided that there had to be a better way, and so I just went to find it.
He says by putting stress on your animals, you're causing them to lose weight, and that means less money in producers' pockets.
Animals perform better. They're healthier, so the health costs are really high today. When you start using a lot of medicine, like it's really expensive. Also, your performance is better if you have less stress in the animals. Whenever you talk about animal welfare, it's to the benefit of the rancher to be concerned about the welfare of his animals. And I think that most ranchers do what they know, but there's more to learn.
Williams has worked with everything from sheep to cattle and is now employed at VT Feeders, although he still travels and teaches his trade around the world.
And as this year's annual Canadian Western Agribition wraps up, we take it back to 1998 and see how things have changed.
Day 3 of the Canadian Western Agribition has come to a close, and it was an action-packed day. Everything from cattle to horses to elk and bison. From the calm serenity of the pens out back to the feverish yell of the auction block, Agribition's bison sale was considered a success. The gold trophy winner for the yearling bulls went to a Buffalo Hill ranch of Round Hill, Alberta. They in turn sold him for $24,000. Cattle producers view the show as a great way to market their product. In fact, one Midwest producer has been an exhibitor for the entire 28 years.
Well, I don't feel it's pretty good. I guess, it's a show we wouldn't miss. International people around and being able to display your goods and advertise your program. And this is one show that we won't miss.
And he's happy with how things have been going so far this year.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I think we're in for a really good week. And the weather's cooperating.
Not only beef cattle were exhibited, the dairy cattle hit the ring as well. There is a definite difference between how the two are judged. The angularity of the dairy is desired, while a well-balanced beef heifer is what producers want. The draft horses competed as well. The International Horse Bowl Championships, the hit show, as well as the ladies' cart ran throughout the day. Well, that puts a cap to another day at the Canadian Western Agribition in Regina. After countless years of showing cattle here myself, this is the first time that I'm able to stand out during tie-outs, not leading out any sort of animal.
And that's it for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.